Hey guys, it's Dana with Spun Paradise Cotton Candy. Okay, so I'm super excited today to talk to you guys about starting your own cotton candy company. I get asked a ton, how do I start? Like, where do I even begin? And so I've been super, super lucky, and I really do feel super blessed to have been able to help so many different clients get started with their own cotton candy business. It's probably one of my favorite things of what I've done since starting cotton candy myself. So we're just going to head right into it. So first thing that I recommend is to just decide on what kind of product, what kind of cotton candy you're wanting to sell. Are you wanting to do all organic? Are you wanting to do traditional cotton candy? A little bit of both, maybe you want to offer both, and how you want to offer the cotton candy. Do you want to offer it only live at events on cotton candy cones? Are you going to prepackage it in bags or containers? All of those things are really going to affect your overall business structure and what your goals are with it. So if you're going to do organic, I think, or classic, I think it just comes down to your community, the demographics in your area, and just kind of your overall personal opinion. Are you wanting to only offer organic, which, doesn't have any dye or any artificial flavor? Are you okay with having dyes in it? Totally fine either way. It just might come down to your own personal opinions too on it. There always is the difference. Classic cotton candy with the dye is definitely always going to be more vibrant. So yeah, just take those thoughts into consideration when you're deciding on what kind of cotton candy it is that you want to offer. Maybe you want to offer it prepackaged and on sticks and cones. It's totally going to be up to you guys. But that's where I would start. Just getting a general idea of what kind of cotton candy and how the packaging you want to sell. Second thing I would recommend is checking out your local food laws. We've sold cotton candy at farmers markets in 3 different states in the US, and all of those states have different requirements, but more importantly, every county in the US has different requirements and expectations and different permitting of what you can do with cotton candy. It is considered a non-potentially hazardous food, so permitting and regulations on it usually are pretty minimal, but again, totally going to depend on the county you're in. If you're not in the US, I would just recommend that you find your local health department or the equivalent thereof to find out what's allowed with the cotton candy. So I highly recommend that you go down to environmental health, to the health department if you can, and talk to an inspector in person. Be prepared to tell them exactly what you're wanting to do with the cotton candy, whether it's spinning at live events or selling at farmers markets or catering, or you just want to do like a delivery service with cotton candy, doorstep delivery service, or you want to do a weekly meetup for sales of cotton candy. So just be prepared to make sure that you can be able to tell the health inspector exactly what it is you want to do with the cotton candy, your setup. If you are going out to spin live at farmers markets or live events, or if you're only taking prepackaged, that's going to make a really big difference for them. It probably will be a difference in permitting for you as well, whether you're making it and taking it only prepackaged or spinning live. Some counties will allow you to make the cotton candy at home and prepackage it and take it out to events. Other counties will require that you make it in a commercial kitchen. Really, again, going to depend on your county. I highly recommend that you get educated on your food cottage laws in your state. Really, food cottage laws generally go by state more than county, but you really want to know what your options are with starting at home with the cotton candy. Because you're just starting out, it really is super helpful if you can be doing this from home. The more you can do from home, the lower your costs are for not paying for a commissary or for a commercial kitchen. If you do need to be in a commercial kitchen, I highly recommend finding somewhere where you can just rent by the hour to really try to keep those costs low here in the beginning. And then, in the future, depending if you end up wanting to do large scale manufacturing for retail, etc., then for sure you could look at a commercial kitchen space. But if we're just going out to farmers markets or catering live events, doing a delivery doorstep kind of a deal, whatever it might be, whatever your platform is, I highly recommend trying to see what you can do with working with Food Cottage laws first and permits. I highly recommend that you get as educated as you can with food permitting in your area, because that's really going to help you decide what your options are for where you can sell, and also in what form you're going to sell, if you're selling prepackaged or you're spending live. So definitely go to environmental health before you move any further in this process of getting set up and kind of just getting organized with this cotton candy idea. Third, I highly recommend, once you know what your options are for food permitting, then let's get a business plan going and written up. The business plan is just going to be super basic and straightforward, just to really help you organize your ideas and how we're going to structure this new business. So I recommend first just a quick summary on your business plan. First thing, summary. It's just a quick overview or detailed overview of your cotton candy business idea and the plans for your business in your community and in your area. Second would be the opportunity in your area. Just decide, is there really a lot of opportunity in your community, in your area, for this cotton candy business? Is there already a lot of competition? Are there other people already doing cotton candy? Is this something that's needed in your area? Are there a lot of events and companies and various communities close to you that will want your product and your service? So that's where we really want to identify opportunity in your business plan. Third would be implementation, and this is where you just want to write down how you're going to market your cotton candy company and how the logistics of operating this company are going to go. So we just really want to write down your thoughts on how the logistics is a huge one. Really give that some thought and organization in your business plan. Fourth would be structure. Are you going to work alone? Are you going to hire some extra help right off the bat? That would definitely be a big part of the structure. I would also say, what is the actual legal structure that you are wanting for this company? Are you doing a corporation, sole proprietor, an LLC? We want to put that in the structure portion of this business plan as well. The last thing I would say to put in your business plan would be finances. Just completely keeping track in detail of what your costs are going to be. Think, if you've already spent some money, keep it in there. So really what your costs are, and I want you to put in your costs including your time. That's super important. A lot of people forget to do that or consider that, but we want to make sure that this is even honestly worth your time. So make sure you put that in the finances area, and so that you really know what your actual profit will be. You want to really make sure that it's enough profit to make it worth your time. I would also recommend that you make your business plan realistic. If you're just starting this out, just make sure you keep your goals super, super real. We don't want to over aim, but of course you want to be motivated and have goals, and that's good, but keep it real and super realistic. And the business plan is totally there to continue to revise and review through, forever. So don't be afraid to go back over time as your company grows and kind of revise that business plan. Okay, so after you've got your business plan written up and you're super motivated and you know that you're ready to hit the ground running, it's time to buy some equipment. I'm so excited. This is the fun part, right? And it can kind of be the scary part for some people, and that's okay too. But the good news is that starting a cotton candy company is pretty low investment, especially compared to a lot of other businesses, especially food businesses. Cotton candy is where it's at for cost. So first thing is you want a machine, of course, to make your cotton candy. Machines are really going to depend on what your application is for this cotton candy company. I've already made a video kind of comparing different options for machines. I'll put the link to that video in the description below so that you can kind of get a better idea of machines before you go out there and make a purchase, because your machines are your biggest purchase for this company. I highly recommend the Vivo or the Carnival King if you're just going out there and doing live event catering. They're perfect. You can switch the flavor out. They're just the perfect weight and size and look for private events like weddings and birthdays and baby showers, that kind of thing, or corporate events. Vivo, Carnival King, definitely. If you are going to do higher volume manufacturing, or you're wanting to like make this and prepackage it for cute little shops in town or whatever it might be, then you're definitely going to want to go with more of a gold medal Whirlwind. It's just a much larger heavy duty machine for higher output of cotton candy. So decide on which machine you want, research them, and then get your machine. Once you have your machine, you'll know dimensions, or once you know what machine you want, you can get dimensions of the machine online. It's time to get a cart. I get asked so often where to get a cart, and honestly, the best option is to design your own. So once you have the dimensions of whichever machine you're getting, you can design your cart around those dimensions. Design something that works for you. Number one, a cart that's going to fit in whatever vehicle you're transporting into events. That's like a big deal, and sometimes people forget about that. So design it that, to work for your vehicle, to just work for your own physical needs. Some people build carts that break apart into pieces, so there's lighter pieces because they can't lift a ton. Totally figure out what that is for you. Design it, and then I recommend finding a few great carpenters in your area and getting some quotes and seeing who would be the best option for you to build that out. If you can't build it yourself, maybe you can build it yourself, or you have a spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever that can build that for you. But if not, I recommend a local carpenter. Your cart should totally reflect kind of you and your own company and the style of that company. And it's a really fun thing to do. So don't be afraid to get the cart custom made. After the machine and the cart, it's really minimal. You need some cotton candy cones. Totally can get traditional ones if you want to spin big cones like at a fair or kids' birthday parties. The big cones are like always the exciting thing to bring. So the plain white paper cones, we just use gold medal plain paper white cotton candy cones. If it's more of like an elegant event or weddings or corporate events, we usually spin on paper straws, like the small paper straws. They come in like every color imaginable with all sorts of fun patterns. We also use hay straws a lot, and I love those. They look like little petite bamboo sticks with a little puff of cotton candy. They're super elegant and super nice, modern looking for events. So I will put the link for the hay straws specifically in the description below too, just so you guys can see those. I love them. They're just such a natural look. They're awesome, especially if you're spinning organic cotton candy or all natural cotton candy. So after cones, I would say, well, you want cotton candy sugar for sure. And of course, we sell certified organic cotton candy sugar. So the plus to that is there's no dye, no artificial flavor, and we make it in a lot of unique, yummy flavors. If you're doing classic cotton candy, most everyone uses gold medal sugar floss. Easy to find, easy to source. Last two things you really, really need would be protective eyewear. You've got to keep your eyes safe. There's a lot of hot flying sugar. So protective eyewear, I do have a favorite pair of glasses that I use, but anything would honestly do. I will put links in the description just so you guys can see what we actually literally use. But any glasses would work great. And then food handlers gloves. No matter what, whether you're prepackaging the cotton candy or you're spinning it on cotton candy cones, you totally want food handlers gloves. It makes it so much cleaner, so much less sticky, and in some counties it's required. I really like Gorilla gloves. Anything will do, but I have found through the years that Gorilla gloves do not rip nearly as quickly as some of the other thinner food handlers gloves. But beyond that, if you get the Vivo or the Carnival King, it's going to come with its sugar scoop already. If you get the Whirlwind, then yeah, you might want a sugar scoop. I know a lot of our clients just pour straight out of the bag, but you can do all sorts of fun things. So that's where you get to get a little bit creative with the details. But the things we've discussed so far for buying equipment are like the for sure necessities. So yeah, after you have all your equipment and you're all set up and you're ready to go, it's time to market your company, which is so fun. I think that it can be intimidating sometimes, but it's so fun to just get your name out there and your product out there and like share your excitement about your new company with others. So social media is so obviously so perfect. You can get on Instagram and find so many awesome pictures. Cotton Candy, the aesthetics, it's just fun, and you can get super creative with so many different options and things. So for sure, Instagram and Facebook and all social media platforms. Farmers markets are a great option to get your product out there and getting the community to just try it and taste it and sample it and really talk to people, get business cards out there, connect with maybe some corporate companies, things like that. There's so many different alleys at a farmer's market and different people you can meet to really help to start marketing and growing the business. Okay, large corporations, reaching out to department stores, home decor stores, toy stores, just different companies in your area will love to have you guys come out. I guarantee it. Make up some super cute samples to send to the PR managers with a brochure about your services and what you offer. Having your cotton candy card out there in their department stores with all natural cotton candy on, super cute paper straws, like looking adorable, customers will remember it. It's a super memorable product, and it's like an experience. Watching the cotton candy, the whole thing. It's just a full-on experience for customers, and PR managers will love that. So definitely reach out to local companies and stores in your area. We've done everything from home goods stores that we've catered in to Neiman Marcus, to wineries, to food festivals. So honestly, the applications for cotton candy are endless. So just keep that in mind as you are creating the business and as you go through and grow with the business. Just remember there's so many different applications. And I would say that I think that's more so with natural cotton candy or organic cotton candy than it is with classic, just because of the super unique flavors, and that it's a little bit more adult-like as well as for children. It is for adults. And people are just like super fascinated and love this idea of this, this clean, yummy treat that is become a bit more of an adult treat as well. So yeah, as you market, just remember that there's just so many different avenues for the cotton candy. I want to add that too, though, that fundraising and school carnivals are also super, super good ways to market the cotton candy, especially like to parents and children and to that demographic. So don't be afraid to reach out to local schools and see if they have some carnivals going or winter fairs or things like that. If it's a winter fair, go take out peppermint cotton candy and, let it be edible snowballs or whatever. There's so many fun things to do. So definitely I recommend fundraising with the cotton candy as well for local schools or teams, things like that. Anyone that's looking for fundraisers, the cotton candy is awesome and a super great profit margin for them and for you. Okay, so pretty much those are like some of the bigger things that I would recommend as far as marketing. Of course, you'll come up with your own ideas, and one thing will lead to another as you continue to just put the company out there in your community. You will just watch it snowball and grow. It's so fun. I love it. It's part of my favorite part of this. And in the meantime, you get to meet a lot of awesome people. So what's not to love? Okay, last thing I want to touch base on and I want to recommend for getting this company going and started is to grow your team. You might want to start out by yourself in the beginning, but you are not going to want to be doing cotton candy by yourself forever. You are going to want to do help because it's just going to become crazy town if you try to do all of it yourself as you grow. So I highly recommend trying to find people that are like love cotton candy obviously is a huge plus, but maybe they just love treats, or they're just super excited to work with you, or other entrepreneurs that maybe haven't started anything yet, but they're like really excited about that idea of starting something, and they just want to like get in there and see what you've done and get some experience. And so don't be afraid to grow your team and to find people that are like-minded and excited to work with cotton candy. Especially if you're doing farmers markets or catering, you can't be at every event on a Saturday night. You need other people, to go and take other carts for you out to other events. So yeah, find just really good, personable people, and that are just good with people and are fun and they're excited to be there. It's going to make a huge difference to have people that really want to be there and that are just as excited about your product as you are. So yeah, find fun people. And it's wonderful growing your team as well, because you just get to meet new people that you would have never otherwise met, and it's awesome to learn from them and get new perspective, and maybe they help give you new, even fresh ideas for your company. So definitely grow your team. And with growing your team, I also just want to say, and probably just end with, that I recommend finding some type of mentor. It doesn't have to necessarily be someone who owns a cotton candy company, but maybe you just find someone who is an entrepreneur themselves and just loves new businesses and the creativity and the excitement and the hard work of a new business. You just really want to find people who can really support you, answer some of your questions, because there will be a lot as you start your cotton candy company, just that can answer your questions just about basic business, not necessarily the actual cotton candy part. Yeah, so just make sure that you really keep people who are like-minded around you. And with that too, I'd say that there's no need for you to like have to reinvent the wheel yourself. Accept people's help and suggestions and guidance. It will just make it so much easier, and your growth will be so much faster if you allow others to help you. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. You definitely want a mentor. So I hope that this is good information for you guys, and that this can really truly help you guys to get going and up and running with your own cotton candy company or small food business in general. It's just a great way to learn business and just like get in there. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, comment below or feel free to email me, contact me. Like I said in the beginning, it's been one of the best parts of having my company is watching my clients and helping them to like really grow and get up and running with their own company. It's liberating. So yeah, I hope it was informational. I hope you guys have a great evening, day, morning, whatever it might be when you're watching this, and keep it sweet.